Hello to all. I am Lalit Kumar, a chartered accountant, an investment banker, and a financial advisor. Today I am going to speak on a very important topic on how to do a fundamental analysis of a company. Often I am being asked saying that, hey, if you have to invest into a company, what are all the factors you look for the purpose of investment? In the next 15 minutes, I am going to explain you on how do you analyze a company. Basically, there are two factors on which a company can be analyzed on. First is the qualitative factors. What does qualitative factor mean? It means to understand the business model of the company. What are all the information you have in terms of understanding how the company earns its revenue, what does it sell to get the income, and what is the amount they spend for all the raw materials, the employee costs, the major key expenses in rental, power, etc. You need to understand this business model first, even before starting. For a cement company, sale of cement is going to be a revenue income. This cost might be in terms of producing the cement. You need to understand for each of this industry and the company what is their business model. Second is the management of a company. It's very important that the management of the company, which is nothing but the board of directors, the CEO, are highly competent as well as have the past experience of running that particular company. Third is the competitive advantage. It's important to see and know how a company is protected itself from other competitors. Often we are seeing in the world of disruption, the company has to protect its revenue earning capacity. Now the important aspect is you might take a player like say Indigo Airlines, which is having a 55% market share. The next player in this segment is SpiceJet, which is having some 9 to 10% market share. But it's important that how company is also grabbing the market share which is available. The fourth is the corporate governance. Often we see that repeated corporate governance issue bring the share price down for the company, in turn bringing the market capital. This is considered to be a very big red flag. The fifth and the important aspect, industry growth and the business cycle. Now how quick the industry is growing, how big the industry is, as well as at what cycle the company is all about. If the industry size is 1000 crores and if company is targeting say 100 crores of revenue, basically you are catering to 10% of the industry. Now you have to see how big this pie is for the growth. The second aspect is the quantitative factors, right? Which is nothing but you and go and seeing the profit and loss statement of the company, the cash flow statement of the company, the balance sheet of the company. Basically, all these three will give you the financial health of the company. How much the company has grown in terms of revenue from previous year to this year. How much the company has incurred in terms of expenses from previous year to this year. How much the company is earning in terms of its EPS from previous year to this year. How much the company is having inventory, how much the company is having receivables which it has to collect from its customers, how much the company has to pay across all its creditors. Each of these numbers for the purpose of analysis is available. Post having these numbers, you do a ratio analysis for it. An annual report is very important because you get to understand both the qualitative factors as well as quantitative factors. You get to read basic info on hidden info on contingent liability, the cases against the company, which is that the status of each of those cases, how the management foresees the future of this company. On the other side, flip, right? What you can also do is you can segregate and take out those companies which are not good for investment. So you have totally 3,500 companies which are listed on stock exchange, right? Basically, rather than checking out which are all the companies I have to invest in, you can filter out easily which are all the companies I should not invest in, right? And how do you determine that? If the personal history of the promoter is tainted, avoid that company. All you have to do is Google, find the company's promoter name and add plus criminal cases. Google, add the name plus any history of other cases. Google, add saying plus fraud. If you have any tainted history, avoid that particular. If the company is going for an unnecessary diversification, in 2010, a company called Venky's went ahead and bought a football group, right? So a chicken hen company has no relevance of getting into a football related segment, right? So you have to avoid those kind of companies which is having unnecessary diversification. A lot of research reports suddenly starts coming on the company, right? We are in a bull market, so you will see a lot of micro cap companies suddenly coming and bombarding with lot of research reports. Avoid those companies. If there are repeated corporate governance issue, like I mentioned, you have to avoid. If there are multiple related party transaction between myself, a promoter entity, if I am completely dealing with them again and again repeatedly, I have to avoid it. If there's a low tax payout, important that whatever profit you earn, you pay 25% plus surcharge plus the cess, right, is to be paid. If there's any adjustment to it, and if the tax rate is only 4-5% in your cash flow payment which happens, you need to avoid. If there's a pledge which has been done by the promoter, often you will see that promoters holding say is 50-60%, right? They go pledge these shares which they have, get the loan against their personal name and utilize it for all practical purpose. And hence when market's price starts falling, each of this pledge which has been created is being completely sold into the market, and hence promoter will not have any control in the company. Your 5-year CFO to EBITDA is less than 50%, which is nothing but whatever you earn end of the day has to be converted into cash. If it is not converted into cash and if it is lying at some other place, means you have a problem. And if the company is having a very high debt, then you have a problem. Important to also see that how do you read an annual report, right? So basically an annual report contains a management discussion analysis where they say, hey, this is the future outlook of the company, this is how I intend the company to grow. There is of course a past track history record which has been given, which you can take the last 10 years annual report and read how the company has grown in each of the years, right? Then you have your directors report where the directors say, hey, how they have performed during the year. And then you have your financial section, which is your P&L, cash flow, balance sheet being reflected along with notes to accounts. I'm going to explain you a story, right? And the story is a Choluteca Bridge in Honduras, which was created, right? And there's a very important message towards this. And the message is that even after doing a lot of fundamental analysis, there's a chance, there's always a chance that your investment is always at risk. And how do you avoid that? I'm also going to give you and show you some pictures in terms of how can you identify companies for the purpose of investment. So basically this was a suspension bridge, right, which was constructed in 1930 by the Honduras government, and it was rebuilt again in 1996. This was done because Honduras always had extreme weather conditions, right? And to avoid those extreme weather conditions, they asked worldwide architects to come, give them a design where any type of extreme weather or hurricane which comes up, it should be able to withstand. So it was built, and then just 2 years later, you had a Hurricane Mitch, which was a extreme category 5 storm, the extreme of extreme, and all the buildings, all the bridges in Honduras collapsed. Everything got damaged except this Choluteca Bridge, right? It stood wherever it was, absolutely no damage to it, survived perfect condition, was considered to be the best, or at least it should have been considered the best architectural achievement, but that did not happen. Now what happened was, even though the bridge stood its ground, but the river which was going below the bridge had changed its path, right? So this is the image which you will see where the river which was flowing below the bridge, post this particular event, the the river started going on the right side of the bridge, right? So the bridge was absolutely of no relevance, no use, right? So what is the moral of this story? Despite doing a lot of fundamental analysis on companies, which you usually don't get to see, there is a chance that your investment is always at risk. Now, you have to mitigate those kind of risks. And how do you select those companies where you can mitigate those risks, right? I've given a very superb example, an image which has been created by Vishal Khandelwal, an excellent investor. And say, imagine yourself, right? When you get up, the moment you get up, you open your eyes, you see a fan, right? Which will be a Havells fan, which will be a Crompton Greaves, which will be a Bajaj Electrical. You then head towards, going and pasting. And then when you paste, you have Colgate or a Dabur being done. If you shave, you have Gillette, which is there. Then you get to the washroom, you have tiles, which is of Somani ceramics, which is there. Then you have paint, which you keep seeing across all your walls. You have Asian Paints, which is there, your Nerolac, which is there. So you have Berger Paints, which is there. You head towards office, you step out, and then you see your shoes, which is there, which will be of Bata or Khadim's. Then you head towards your bike. It is a Hero Motocar or a Bajaj. If you have a car, it will be a Maruti or a Tata Motors or a Mahindra and Mahindra. You read newspaper at office, it will be a Jagran Prakashan or an Hindustan Times Media. You have AC which you switch on, which will be a Voltas and Hitachi or a Blue Star. You have a watch which is there again of Titan. Anything, the food which you eat is Maggi noodle, suppose of Nestle. You have ITC. Every single thing you use, ultimately during the day, whatever you see, feel, touch, right, is the companies which is giving you experience to use their products, right? And these are all the companies you keep seeing. You head towards outside, you see a bank, an ICICI Bank, an Axis Bank, it's physically there. Something which you're able to touch, see physically, right? It all matters because these are all the companies who have built their brand over the last 10, 15, 20 years. These are all the companies who will not run out of business in next 2-3 years, right? Similarly, you will see a lot of, you enter your kitchen, you will see the cooker which has been used, which is TTK Prestige or in Hawkins, exactly the item, the glass which you use, which is of Borosil, the chicken which you eat is of Venky's. So anything which you can touch, feel, see, or the companies where you can trust and invest along, taking care of all the analysis which you can do across. And there are a lot of them who keep asking, right? Hey, market is at high, market is at high. I've been hearing this for last 15 years. Market is at high. When I started, Nifty was at 4,300, 4,400 points, right? Now it is at 16,000 points. Even at 4,300 points, people said it is at high. At 16,000, people are saying it is high, right? So every single time an event happens, a market collapses, and again it goes back to its high. You will see a lot of event being mentioned in front of your screen where the dot-com bubble happened in 2000, Harshad Mehta scam happened. Everyone would have seen the recent movie of Harshad Mehta, right? You would have seen how market had fallen 30-40% because of the scam which took place, right? And every single time something happened, market has bounced back. You had COVID which hit us last year, market went down 40%. And you still in the last 1 year, market has gone up by 106%, right? So every single time any event comes up, take that as an opportunity to invest and don't wait to time the market. Keep investing it via SIP, systematic investment plan, and then continue your journey. You have another 25-30 years of your career and life for investment. Events will keep coming, events will keep going. India is going to grow strong. Entrepreneurs over here are working extremely hard in terms of making their company successful, right? No one is working to make their company fail. Every one of us are working over here to make our company successful. And hence, if you're betting on the India story, you can always bet along the stocks and the companies in which you want to invest in. Roughly, you have 250 days in a year, right? for trading, for making an investment, which is nothing but in a decade, in a 10-year period, you have 2,500 days. Majority of the time, the wealth will be created in 50 to 60 days, right? You will see wealth being created in 50 to 60 days, which is 2% of your entire decade return is being decided by this 50 to 60 days. And hence, please don't time the market. Don't think that you're smart enough that you will wait for the market to fall and probably invest. If you have a good company, companies will continue to grow, company will continue to be expensive, they will continue to grow. Start making your investment. Decide on sectors you want to invest. See, India is a huge opportunity. You look at the potential which is there, right? We are a population of 130 crore people. We have close to about 100 crore bank accounts. We have 45 crore of PAN cards, of which only 6 crore filed return, of which only 2 crore investors, of the population. We have just 2 crore investors, which is nothing but hardly 2% of India's population is invested. The market is so huge that remaining 98% are yet to invest in market, right? Only 60 lakh people are insured in India. Imagine the bet and the size of insurance segment in India. You have the likes of HDFC Life, you have the likes of SBI Life, which can grow leaps and bounds the moment. And we saw during COVID a lot of them opting for insurance. It has become mandatory, right, if you're traveling abroad, to have an insurance policy in hand, right? So you will see a lot of insurance being taken by people, being forced also by government, right? And on the right side you will see how much percentage that India constitute in terms of market cap. We hardly constitute 2% of the market cap. Our largest company in India is Reliance Industry, which is 15 lakh crore market cap, right? Second largest is TCS. Of this 15 lakh crore, if you compare it with the US, it has more than 8 companies above 15 lakh crore. China has close to about again 7 to 8 companies above 15 lakh crore. We have just one, right? So we have a long way to go. This decade is going to be India's decade. Keep focus in terms of your investment. Start investing, start analyzing on company, read as many annual reports as possible, and we will have a fantastic decade ahead. I wish you all the very best in analyzing the companies as well as starting and kickstarting your growth journey. Best of luck.